You think you're a great passenger, right? You're polite, you clean up after yourself, and you try not to make extra work for anyone. But here's a secret that might shock you. You're probably destroying your cruise ship's plumbing without even knowing it. Reason 1. Flushing things that don't belong. Let's talk about your cabin bathroom. You walk in there and see a regular toilet, just like the one at home. So you treat it exactly the same way. Big mistake. That toilet might look normal, but it's actually a high-tech machine. It uses powerful vacuum suction to work, kind of like a mini airplane bathroom. It's super sensitive and can only handle 2 things: human waste and the ship's special toilet paper. But guests flush all sorts of crazy stuff down there. Those flushable wipes that say they're safe, they're your steward's worst nightmare. Feminine products? Absolutely not. Some people even try to flush cotton swabs, dental floss, and contact lenses. Here's why this makes stewards want to scream. One wrong item can clog the entire system. And it's not just your bathroom that stops working. A single clog can shut down toilets for a whole section of cabins. Imagine 20 angry passengers with broken bathrooms, all blaming your steward. Now picture your poor steward having to deal with that disgusting, expensive mess. They have to call maintenance, explain what happened, and keep smiling while passengers yell at them about the problem you created. The simple rule? Only flush waste and toilet paper. Everything else goes in the trash can. Reason 2. The towel folding mix-up. You think you're a great passenger because you're neat and tidy. After you use a towel, you don't just throw it on the floor like some messy guests. Instead, you fold it nicely and hang it back on the towel rack. You're being helpful, right? Wrong. You've just created the most frustrating puzzle for your cabin steward. Here's what happens. Your steward walks into your bathroom and sees that perfectly folded towel hanging there. Now they have to play a guessing game. Is this towel clean or dirty? Did the guest just use it, or is it fresh from yesterday's cleaning? They have no way to tell. That towel could be completely clean, or it could be the same one you used to dry your sweaty body after the gym. Maybe you wiped your face with it, or maybe it's never been touched. Your poor steward is stuck. They might leave it there thinking it's clean, and then you get a gross, used towel tomorrow morning. Or they might replace it even though it was perfectly fine, which wastes time and creates extra laundry. Some stewards have told stories about guests who got the same dirty towel back for 3 days straight because it looked so neat and clean hanging there. The solution is super easy. If you use the towel, don't fold it. Toss it on the floor, throw it in the bathtub, or drape it over a chair. Make it obvious that it's dirty. Your steward will thank you for making their job crystal clear. If you're learning something new that will help your next cruise, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more insider tips like these. Reason 3. Using white towels as your personal beauty blender. You think you're a great passenger because you're not making a mess or being demanding. You just need to take off your makeup before bed, and hey, there's a perfectly good white towel right there. What's the harm in using it to wipe off your foundation, mascara, and lipstick? Well, you just created a nightmare for your cabin steward. Those fluffy white towels aren't meant to be your personal makeup remover, but guests use them for everything. Wiping off bronzer, cleaning self-tanner streaks, removing hair dye, and scrubbing off sunscreen. Within minutes, that beautiful white towel looks like it lost a fight with a makeup store. Here's the problem. Those stains don't come out. Ever. Once that towel is covered in foundation, mascara, and lipstick, it's completely ruined. The laundry team can't fix it, and now the ship has lost an expensive towel. But here's the worst part. Sometimes your cabin steward gets blamed for it. They have to explain to their supervisor why this towel looks like a rainbow disaster. They might even get in trouble for something you did. Your steward has to deal with dozens of these ruined towels every week. They see that stained mess and know exactly what happened, but they can't say anything to guests about it. The easy fix. Bring your own dark washcloths for your beauty routine. Pack a few cheap, dark-colored face cloths from home. Your steward will be so grateful that you're not destroying the ship's expensive white linens with your nightly skincare routine. Reason 4. Hiding your mistakes like a secret agent. You think you're a great passenger because you don't want to cause trouble or get charged extra fees. So when you accidentally break something in your cabin, you decide to be sneaky about it. You'll just hide the evidence and maybe nobody will notice, right? Wrong. This drives your cabin steward absolutely crazy. Picture this. You knock over a glass and it shatters on the floor. Instead of calling for help, you carefully pick up every piece and slide them under the bed. Or maybe you spill red wine on a pillowcase, so you wrap it up in a towel like a burrito and stuff it behind the curtains. You think you're being smart, but here's what really happens. Your steward finds everything. They always do. They know every hiding spot better than a detective. Under the bed, behind curtains, in drawers, wrapped in other linens. They've seen it all. When they discover your hidden mess, it's actually worse than if you had just been honest from the start. Now they have to spend extra time investigating what happened, cleaning up a mess that's been sitting there getting worse, and they might even worry that you're trying to trick them. One steward found broken glass under a bed that cut their hand when they were vacuuming. Another discovered a stained pillowcase that had been hidden so long it started to smell. The truth is, accidents happen on cruises all the time. If you break something or make a mess, just tell your steward right away. They're not going to get mad. They just want to help fix it quickly and safely. Reason 5. Turning your cabin into a sticky disaster zone. You think you're a great passenger because you're having fun and enjoying your vacation drinks. You've got your wine, your fruity cocktails, and your sodas, and you're living your best cruise life. But when you accidentally spill those drinks all over your cabin, you're creating a nightmare for your cabin steward. Here's what happens. You knock over your glass of red wine, and it splashes across the white bed sheets. Or you spill your sticky pina colada on the carpet. Maybe you bump your soda, and it goes flying across the desk and chair. You might clean up what you can see, but here's the problem. Those sugary, sticky liquids get everywhere. They soak into fabrics, drip into cracks, and create a mess that's way bigger than you realize. Your poor cabin steward has to scrub everything with special cleaners. They have to treat stains, deodorize smells, and sometimes even replace expensive bedding or furniture. That spilled wine doesn't just wipe away. It can permanently stain white sheets that cost the cruise line lots of money. The worst part? Sticky spills attract bugs when the ship gets to port. Nobody wants ants marching through the hallways because someone's leftover cocktail is calling them for dinner. And if you spill drinks on your balcony, it can drip down onto the cabin below you. Imagine explaining to angry neighbors why their clean laundry is now covered in your tropical drink. The solution? Be extra careful with drinks and clean up spills immediately with lots of water. Reason 6. Demanding your steward become a towel artist. You think you're a great passenger because you're friendly and chatty with your cabin steward. You love those cute towel animals they leave on your bed. The little elephants, swans, and monkeys are so adorable. So you decide to make some special requests. Can you make me a dinosaur tonight? How about a romantic swan? I saw someone got a lobster riding a motorcycle once. You think you're just being fun and engaging, but you're actually creating a huge headache for your steward. Here's the reality. Your cabin steward isn't a professional origami artist. They're an overworked crew member who has to clean 20 to 25 cabins every single day. Those simple towel animals you see, they take precious time that could be spent actually cleaning rooms. When you make special requests for complex towel creations, you're asking them to spend way more time in your cabin while other guests are waiting for their rooms to be cleaned. That cute dinosaur request might take 15 extra minutes, time that makes them fall behind on their whole schedule. Some passengers even get upset when their towel animal isn't exactly what they pictured. They complain that their swan doesn't look romantic enough or their elephant is too small. Your poor steward now feels like they failed at something that isn't even their main job. The simple solution? Appreciate whatever simple towel surprise you get, and don't make special requests. Your steward will love you for understanding that their real job is keeping your cabin clean and comfortable, not running a towel sculpture studio. Reason 7. Hovering like a helicopter parent. You think you're a great passenger because you're organized and like to plan your day perfectly. You want to know exactly when your room will be cleaned so you can time your activities just right. So you find your cabin steward in the hallway and start asking questions. When will you clean my room? Can you do it at exactly 10:30? I'll be back at 11:15, so make sure it's done by then. You think you're being helpful by giving them your schedule, but you're actually making their job a nightmare. Here's what you don't understand. Your cabin steward has a carefully planned system to clean 20 to 25 rooms every day. They know which rooms to clean first, when people usually leave, and how to move efficiently through their section. It's like a perfectly choreographed dance. But when you start making special timing demands, you mess up their entire system. Now they have to remember that Mrs. Johnson in room 8234 wants her room done at exactly 10:30. Reason 8. Special port rules. Each port your ship visits might have its own special rules that are different from the cruise ship's rules. Some places ban certain sunscreens or medicines. Others don't allow items that your cruise company says are fine. These rules change all the time, and you have to research each stop on your trip separately to make sure you're following all the local laws. This is the sneaky problem that catches people completely off guard. While you're busy reading your cruise line's rules about what to pack, ports around the world are making their own rules that can override everything your cruise company told you. Some Caribbean ports now ban sunscreens with certain chemicals that hurt coral reefs. Many Asian ports won't let you bring in specific medicines that are perfectly legal in America. Several European ports have surprise luggage rules that are totally different from what your cruise line allows. Here's a perfect example of how this ruins vacations. A family of 5 had their Mediterranean cruise ended before it started when Greek port workers took away their drone. It was completely legal according to their cruise line's rules, but Greece had banned drones at that specific port. The family had no idea. The problem is that these local rules change constantly, and cruise companies don't always know about every single update. You have to do your own homework for every single port on your trip. Don't let these preventable mistakes ruin your dream vacation. A little extra research and preparation will have you sipping drinks on deck instead of crying at the port. Your future self will thank you for taking the time to check every detail before you leave home.